Check. 1, 2. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 20. How the fuck did we get here? Don't really have many thoughts on that other than what the hell. I know this podcast is about a year old and 20 episodes in the span of a year isn't the most impressive feat in the world. But I'm incredibly happy with how it's going, so that's all that matters. I don't know why I'm starting to use these intro sessions more and more as like a bit of self-therapy, but you're gonna have to deal with that. Sick one for you this week. We got DJ Wii Sports stepped into the Chatting Breeze studio. Been wanting to get Arthur on for fucking ages. He's just an absolutely mental like jokes guy. Loves video games. I was going to say as much as I do, but I'd say he definitely loves them more than I do, which is saying something. We chatted loads about all his different aliases in the past, everything from sort of two-step to Lord of the Rings donk edits. You might know a couple of his aliases, you might not. What you will know for sure is that you'll bloody love this episode. Oh yeah. As always, rate 5 on Spotify, give us a like. Comment, blah 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 blah. Patreon.com/belters if you want podcasts a week early and if you want to be on the Belters promo list. Gonna keep it short and sweet this time because this is a cracker of an episode and I want to get you guys into it.
Nice. Am I coming through?
Yeah, you're coming
nicely.
Yeah, you're lovely.
Can I clip if I do this?
Yeah, you clipped good time there, bro.
The real deal level of
clipping.
Yes, I'm screeching.
Oh, this
lovely.
chair, I'm going to get one of those, sync it up.
Yeah, you're nice and high up there. I need to go on your
Oh,
level.
the thing is about...
Yeah, here we go.
The thing is about both of these chairs is that
just be
they
really
will,
tight.
They will slowly go down throughout the recording. So by the end of the episode, we'll
both
be down there.
Sat
It'll
on
be
the
the same
ground.
height as Shark then as well.
Yeah, exactly. Intentional.
Ladies and gentlemen, one and all, welcome back to Chatting Breeze. We're in, by the way. We're going.
Right, we're ready to go.
I should have given you a warning there. My
I was
apologies.
just looking at you
Sorry.
like doe-eyed, like what is
mate,
happening?
Get your head in the game. We're in now. We're in.
Might adjust myself a bit.
Oh yeah, no.
Bit floppy,
you gotta
this.
give it one like really like. There you go. You should be nice and secure now.
Oh, I like it.
There we go. Right, I just clocked your watch, by the way. That's fucking hard.
Good, isn't it? It used to actually tell the time.
See, I had one like that recently. It was like a Star Wars one that had Jar Jar Binks on it, and you pressed the button and it like tells you that, but it didn't work. So
You still rock that shit though. Burger
right.
King, 1999.
Really? Fucking hell, older than me. Jesus
Older than
Christ.
Yeah. What can I say? I'm an old man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chatting Breeze. This week, we have a very special guest, none other than DJ Wii Sports. I think he's your current alias that you go by.
A multitude of alias.
DJ Wii Sports.
Ali.
Yeah, I like it.
Loads of people say Elias, don't they? And it does my nut in.
Who calls it an alias?
Too many people. An Elias.
You're hanging out with the wrong people, bro. What the fuck are
I
you
need
doing?
to change my crowd.
Also, I'm going to lower myself because I look significantly... I told you that chair.
I started up here.
I told you it goes down quick time,
That was
bro.
instantaneous. Maybe that's why my mic was off.
Yeah, that's it. Mr. Wii Sports is... how do you describe your style?
Oh, that's a toughie.
Yeah,
I'd say I've really fallen into my niche of just mainly nightcore at the minute. Always had a background of loving happy hardcore, Makina, Gabba, all of that jazz.
Just like general hard dance,
Lots of hard dance. I sort of fell in love for that when I was like 18. People like Scott Brown and Hixie and people like that. But at the time, I was making much more serious music.
Because you're from Sheffield initially, yeah?
Yeah.
How long were you in Sheffield when you were 18? You first started getting into it?
Yeah.
Or?
So I first started making tunes. I went to a music college called Red Tape. Me and a couple of mates got together. I think you know one of them, Sam, DJ Deep Heat.
Yes, yeah, love Deep Heat.
Me and Sam and our friend Alex, who runs a sound system called In Sub Audio. got together and made a garage trio.
Come on.
Which in this day and age, you find them plentifully.
My God, Overmono, watch out.
I know, we were coming for Overmono before Overmono knew what nappies were.
There we go. What were you called?
Wolfer.
Wolf, how do you spell that?
It's W, O with an umlaut, LFE.
Very cool, very cool.
German.
Nice. Do you know what it means?
That I am not. Yeah, wolf. Surprisingly enough.
Could have told, yeah. So that was your first foray into dance music?
Absolutely. So that sort of lasted. Well, to be honest, we still dabble. Like the last time I was in Sheffield a couple of months ago, me and Sam got in the studio, made the most bizarre tune. I think we coined it Scouse Barley or something.
Two cultures,
just sort of slapping together nicely. Have you seen that video of the load of Scousers in a car and they're driving really fast from the police? And he's like, "You gotta go slow down, lad."
No, I'm not seeing that. I'll put it behind us now.
Yeah,
on the green
you'll
screen.
know exactly what we're on about. Yeah, so what have we got in the background at the minute?
Well, you said you wanted some Super Mario, maybe a bit of Mario Kart.
Mario Kart Wii speedruns.
Mario Kart Wii. All right.
Some of the most incredible speedruns.
Really? How do you speedrun Mario Kart? Isn't that the whole point of Mario Kart anyway?
Glitching.
Oh,
you got to hit the fence at the right time.
I've seen one. There's like a Bowser's Castle where there's like a little like mountain right next to the start line. You go onto it and you go around. You can just do that
straight back through the finish line.
I was never that nice when it came to Mario Kart.
Nice,
like good, like that good.
I'm sick.
I fucking bet you are, because you have like a sort of video games and like the video game aesthetic and the video game sound is something that. Your name's fucking DJ Wii Sports.
Yeah. I think I take a lot of influence from video games, and it's been sort of like, in the cringiest way possible, one of the biggest parts of my life since I was growing up.
I was going to say, you've always been a bit of a gamer then.
Absolutely, yeah. Got my N64 when I was about 3 or 4.
Come on.
Obviously, was just shite at Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing. Didn't really know what I was doing. Am I allowed to say bad language on here?
Mate, say whatever the hell you want.
I'll try and watch it.
Listen, it falls on you, not on me, whatever you say. So
I don't want these reflecting badly. I'm actually a very well-mannered human being.
Yeah, no, of course.
Very well-mannered gamer.
There we go.
Gamer and DJ.
What was your favourite game on the N64?
Diddy Kong Racing. It was so good. I mean, like, people say Mario Kart all the way, but if you've heard of Diddy Kong Racing, you can drive as a plane.
Really?
Hovercraft.
No fucking way.
Classic car. It's got everything. Get this up on the screen.
Bang.
Boom. Transition. That game was phenomenal. And it had a hub world as well. You could drive around.
Really?
And enter the maps and Grand Prix, bosses.
What? I've got to see this.
It had everything. Bosses.
Fucking free roam maps.
It's pretty great.
Why did it not to get too deep into the video game chat, but why did it not get as much attention as Mario Kart
I actually don't know, I know it had a lot of attention back in the day. I just think because Mario was probably a bigger... He was like...
He's the big cheese, isn't he?
Nintendo,
he's the big cheese, yeah.
He's the... And then, like, you've got Donkey Kong, who's still a massive cheddar, but...
Diddy Kong, still big, but...
Sure, yeah. It's like Mario, Donkey Kong, and Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong's on the same level as, I don't know, maybe even like a Princess Daisy.
Whoa, I wouldn't get that far. Let's do it.
Okay, who are you putting him on the same level as?
I mean, Donkey Kong Country 2, people love that game, and he was the star of that.
Diddy Kong?
Yeah. I'll put him on the same level as...
Like Wario?
Yeah.
No, I disagree.
No, Wario's quite high. Maybe someone like...
Cooper?
Way higher.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to say someone like Ganondorf.
So you got me there.
Oh yeah, not a Legend of Zelda fan.
I dipped my toes in, but I sort of missed that whole thing. I never really had like a, because I'm a 2000s baby, so my first consoles were like. I had probably like a Wii, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
So my first
great
consoles,
system, to be fair.
Fucking unbelievable. But I never really got in. I was more Pokemon, to be honest with you. That was my thing.
Don't you worry, I'm big on that as well.
Cover all the bases.
What's your favorite Pokemon? Look at me doing the
interviewing here. Oh fuck. I used to always have like, I mean, legendaries don't really count, do they?
Yeah.
You're fucking put me on the spot, bro.
It's a tough question. I'd struggle.
I'd probably say like a Rayquaza, maybe.
King.
Love a good Rayquaza.
Yeah, because that shiny Rayquaza as well.
Oh my god.
Woo.
That was my era of it.
Sorry, we'll stop that.
You were opening Pokemon cards recently on your radio show.
On the radio show, yeah. I think it's my calling, to be honest. Who needs a job when you can open Pokemon cards for money? What?
Well, you need a job to be able to
afford the cards.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Catch 22.
Yeah.
Give me Pokemon cards. I had an interesting thing the other day, actually. It was Christmas time, and I went up to visit my mum. And I was, I've got a little brother and sister, and we went to this light show, and it was pretty tame, but there was this like wishing wall, and you had like a little pen and a little note tag.
Right.
And you wrote your wish, tied it to the wall. There were people like, obviously I was going through like,
you looking at people's wishes.
Looking at everyone's wishes. There was
what kind of things are people wishing for?
Oh, I probably shouldn't get into,
give me a couple wishes.
Never to be in hospital, lame stuff like that. Yeah, I mean like health benefits. So obviously I'm writing infinite Pokemon cards. Out of nowhere, this like 40-year-old dude reaches over my shoulder, just passes me this shiny Pikachu. Got it in my phone now. I'm shit you not. Look at this. Just passes me this card. So it's been in the back of my phone since.
Yeah, show the camera. It's not going to focus, but that's fine.
Yeah, crazy.
So the wishing wall is real.
The wishing wall, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as infinite, but it's a good start.
That is a sign.
Strong.
Oh my God.
I know, yeah. So that was a good moment.
Have you always had that connection of gaming into your productions, or has that only been a more recent thing?
Oh, to be honest, so when I was doing the Wolfer stuff, I'd say it was less video game inspired. We did a couple of tunes that were sort of like almost chiptune-y, but I think, we were like, dare I say it, a bit ahead of our time.
Here we go.
Because we were making this like, everyone in Sheffield loves bassline.
Of course.
Everyone loves UKG. And we were making this sort of like hyper pop infused UKG that was like we were all well into PC music, Sophie, Arca, just all of that stuff, and that really like came through into our production. So we were making this sort of like almost weird blend of UKG and hyper pop, but it was like 10 years ago.
Which is like everywhere now, right? That sort of sound.
Exactly, yeah. And you've got loads of people doing a similar kind of thing now, but at the time it was quite hard to actually get people to be like, oh, this is a really good tune, because I don't know, it was a bit different, and just getting some kind of old heads in Sheffield that are diehard bassline fans to appreciate something new can be a little bit tough.
So you struggle to find any real success with that alias?
I mean, we had a couple of good releases. We loved the sound that we put out, like loads, still do. Like it's some of the best music I've ever made.
Yeah,
and this was so long ago. But yeah, no, it was quite hard finding that niche in a place that had quite a, I'd say, stereotypical set of rules in place.
Yeah, like as in terms of if you weren't making
bassline at 140, you got to make it at 140. Any differentiation, you're a knob.
Were you not that into that sort of scene there then?
Garage that's got any kind of hyper poppy synths, you're a knob.
I'm not even going to do a Sheffield accent.
Come on, give it a go. I get it every day, so you won't.
You go, I can't, bro. I can't.
Oh my God. Sounded good to start.
Nah, that was my throat. That was a little bubble in my throat is what that was. What does that tell you?
I think it sounds nice.
So you weren't really part of the bassline thing?
No, we were kind of on the fringe of that. Like we had, most of our releases came from, like we were releasing with people in London.
Right.
Bristol. Just like various other places. We released on what are they called now? The runners, Jungle Cakes. Do you remember they did that? Do you remember they did that Hot Cakes label?
Oh my God, yeah.
So that was like one of our first big releases.
Wow.
But again, that was like It was almost undefinable. The B-side was like a stereotypical like dark LB kind of
swung
UKG,
drums,
yeah, you know, the two-steppy vibe. But the A side was just like this nutty UK funky, almost like gabba kicked like banger that I don't know. Some people liked, some people didn't.
So you never succumbed then, I guess, to that, because was there like a pressure, like did you ever feel like to like in order to get some more eyes on your music, you had to sort of put yourself in a certain box?
I think we did that for a couple of our releases. It still always had our sound. We had these quite like techie, percussive elements with, I don't know, I'd say like plinky plonky melodies that all sound kind of like sweet. But then there was quite a bit of pressure to release more. Like, I remember Bass House was just coming in at the time, and like people like Tumble Audio and like, I don't know, like Off Me Nut and stuff like that. And we had a lot of pressure to be like, oh, we could make our tunes sound a bit like that. So I think we made like an EP or two that sounded like that. And then we just realized we're just losing our vibe. So we just, packed that in, did our own thing. And
I think that helps you in the long run though, right? Because if you stay true, you will find your sound.
Yeah. And then like looking back on it, the like bass housey driven tunes are the ones that we're like, why did we do that?
Yeah.
and it's a testament, isn't it? Look, like what's happening with bass house now?
Yeah, exactly.
Just like some people in America that are,
hell yeah, man.
yeah, I love this drop, bro. I mean, my American accent's about as good as your Sheffield accent.
That's all you're getting.
Yeah, exactly.
How long were you doing Wolfer for then?
So that took me all the way down to Bristol. So
Okay.
I mean, I'd say that we're still doing it. We haven't made like we occasionally link up and make some like fun tunes, but. Yeah, it was so probably like properly for like 6 or 7 years.
Oh wow!
And just really enjoyed that. That was like my introduction into the music scene.
Sure,
playing those shows to nobody. It's like a rite of passage, isn't it?
Of course.
But I think I did too much of that, and eventually was like, I'm making this serious music that. People are like, some people are liking, some people are not. Then when I play it out and people are like, and I was a bit like, I just want to have a bit more fun with it.
Yeah.
Which is sort of like where I birthed DJ Wii Sports and was just like, you know what, I can play the tunes that I love. Don't have to take myself too seriously and can just have a nice time with it again.
When did you move to Bristol then? Sorry.
What year is it now? 24. 2017, I think.
Oh, okay.
So a while. I've been here nearly 8 years.
Fucking hell, mate. Time flies.
Youngs, I know. Every year that I'm like, it's been 5 years. Wow. And then I'm like, 6 years. Wow. Now it's nearly 8 and I'm about to cry.
When don't cry,
I love
okay.
it. I love this
It's
place.
Okay. When so
Wii Sports breaks down on the pod.
Yeah, that's a clip. That's a clip. Come on. When did Wii Sports start? Was that the year you moved to Bristol then, or was that like a year or so after?
I think I've always had it in my like repertoire to do. Like I was playing gigs as like this nameless happy hardcore DJ at free parties and Chef.
Right.
I think I put a name to a style probably. Yeah, around the time I moved to Bristol, and started linking up with the Planet Fun lot. They used to do parties in Bristol.
Did they?
Yeah. It's where they sort of like started up. Well, they started doing, I think that they were doing one called Forced Fun in London, but then they started doing their first Planet Funs around Bristol. And I was always well inspired by those guys. And yeah, like eventually got involved with them and they started putting me on at parties. So I had to, have a name for myself.
Yeah, that's it. They've got loads of really, really sick stuff going on, like their whole vibe, like their curation, everything. It seems like
absolutely, they've got a fantastic sort of like graphic design. I mean, their outlook on running nights is so good, and they've always got like really good diverse lineups. Always throwing the sickest parties that people are just having a wicked time at.
I feel like a lot of those of the parties that play that style of music often fall short when it comes to maybe like marketing is the wrong word, but like sort of like like visuals and like aesthetic
Yeah,
and like general
absolutely.
vibe, but they've really sort of smashed that.
Yeah, they've
you know?
nailed it. I mean, Luke, DJ Fingerblast, who does like most of their graphic design, is just like this knobhead that's annoyingly like, you know, the triple threat is like amazing at producing, amazing at visuals.
It's fuck you,
great
man.
at running parties, you know. It's like, what am I meant to do with this? Like, I'm like, I struggle to post a story once every couple of days, like trying to run my own night. It's just like, Jesus.
Do you put much thought into running your own nights or?
Yeah, so I've in the past year or so linked up with the Nightcore for Total Sluts dudes.
Yes, of course.
So me and Finn sort of, he's the head honcho and I, and his little goblin that runs around and does things. But tasked me with running this party in London with Mums Against Donk, which is at the end of this month actually. I don't know when this is going out.
This will be up next week, baby.
Whoa! End of this month. If you're in London, you can't come because it's sold out.
The poster.
Boom! But yeah, no, that's been really fun linking up with those guys, and I think I've always got a little bit of anxiety when it comes to nights. We've got like such a good following in Bristol alone. Like we'll just put on a night at the Crown and I'll just be sat there on the door sweating at 11 o'clock. Like, why is no one here?
Yeah.
and then like it's always fine. But
that's promoting, isn't it? That's just how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. But I used to put on like some like garage and bassline nights in Sheffield and be like 3 a.m. and I'd be like, why is no one here? So, you know, you can see where my anxiety stems from.
100%. This is my thing with it. It's always like the worst 2 months of your life, and then you have like such a great night, and then as soon as it's over, you're like, right, let's do it again.
Let's do another one. Yeah. Let's really tear my brain to shreds here. You put on that wicked party recently, actually.
The Stickwell one.
That was sick.
That was so fun.
I had a really
Shout
good
out
night
Constitution for that one as well.
Yeah, I love their party. Went to that pajama one as well.
Yes, yeah.
That was wicked. I love
for a proper party.
They do, yeah. I love the vibe that they've got going on. Just loads of shit happening.
The guy that runs it, or one of the guys that runs it, Ben, he's just like a fucking like master builder. Like he just builds this crazy as shit. Obviously for Stickwell, he had these like big like 8 foot tall like spit buildings on stage, and like they always have actors and like all that sort of thing. They're so good.
Hella inspired by just people doing really good parties at the minute.
Yeah, this is my thing is about parties in Bristol. Like I don't get me wrong, I love going out in Bristol, but I find that sometimes at the minute, like things like Constitution are fucking amazing, but
I know where you're going with
this. There's a lot of places that sometimes I couldn't tell the difference between one. To
I think so. I used to like in first, second, probably third. Yeah, it was just like that's why I loved Bristol. Just go out every day, go to some wank night at
There's
Blue
so
Mountain.
much, isn't there? That's the thing.
Absolutely, like constant. And like in the past 3 or 4 years, it's probably just me getting older as well. But I just really pick and choose the nights that I want to go to. And for me, it gives it a much more, like makes going out feel special again. Because for a while it was so oversaturated. Just go see one random DJ. I got so into 140 when I moved down here.
Really?
Hate it now. No offense.
All the dubstep fans.
I think it was one of
coming for you.
I'm sure there's a multitude. But yeah, no, it's kind of one of the reasons that I've like really wanted to come to Bristol, because I think one of the main things was I used to be a big vinyl collector.
Okay.
And up in Sheffield, I'd always get the new Bandulu release, but I'd go on like Red Eye Records and like their website and shit, and it'd be like new release dropping now, and then I'd go to buy it. Page freezes, reload the page, sold out. Yeah. And then you come to Bristol, you get to go down to Ireland, buy it a day early.
Yeah.
50 quid, well made. No, I was never one of the scalpy kinds.
Come on,
I actually sold my entire collection of like 140.
Really?
Just to my matey for like 20% of what it was worth.
Oh my God.
Just, when times are hard, and it was probably a big regret, but I mean, I don't actually give a fuck about 140 anymore. So.
What changed for you in that respect?
I think it was honestly the serious vibe of everything.
Yeah.
You'd go and there'd be all these like showy people that are just there, like, I don't know, just looking and being.
And sort of just like, bobbing their head.
not really having a great time. To look cool and be be serious.
The serious thing is something that I think we're both on quite similar pages about. Like I've always like not really made many bones about the fact that I don't take myself very seriously. And I think that's sort of what like raving is sort of embedded in, right? Is just being silly and things like that.
Just enjoying yourself. Like people lost enjoyment. Like that's what I noticed anyway. Like I'd go to these things and like there'd be a couple of people smiling, the rest is just serious people for serious music.
Yeah, and it's not even like how people smiling. You want people like just like going mental and like losing
exactly,
it.
not just stood there like that.
Whether that's certain substances, shall we say, that are at play, or
I've seen people on certain substances that are having a great time at parties. So you know what? If you want to be out there and blame your substances,
true. A bad workman blames his tools. Yeah.
Exactly. I got you a present, by the way.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I thought it'd fit well with the pod.
Yeah, nice. You're the... Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. You have what? I take one each.
We'll go one each.
Okay. Cheers. Oh, that was a good cheers. Cheers. For the audio-only listeners, he's brought 2 700ml bottles of WKD. Shall I grab some glasses or you go from the bottle?
Yeah, I'll bottle it.
From the bottle, baby. You are the second person to... bring me a gift, but this definitely tops.
Second?
This tops the first.
What was
the
first gift?
I mean, it
that
was
you had there?
Orion brought me a USB T-shirt, so
That's nice, wearable. I mean, you could make a nice candle holder out of that, wasn't it?
I forgot how tasty it is. Actually,
Good shit, isn't it?
honest.
What flavour is that?
It's got to be blue. Blue.
Blue. Exactly. What flavour is blue?
It's got to be blue flavour. It's got to be. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
No, you're more than welcome. He tried to scam me in the shop though. 2 for $6.50 on these, and he said £8. I was having none of it. I was like, 2 for $6.50. He was like, you're a clever man. So that's what he said.
You're a clever man. You can read.
I was like, do not many people buy these?
Not like, to be fair, the usual clientele probably maybe not being able to read properly when you buy 2 bottles of WKD.
I'm not sure I condone that statement.
So let's backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
When you moved to Bristol in what you said, 2017.
Or 16. It was one of the two.
Yeah. You were still sort of on a more sort of garagey vibe then?
Yeah. I started making sort of like wifey grime with my homie Theo, who, if he's watching this, big 140 producer called CPF.
Oh, okay.
I apologise for all the 140.
I know, 140 slander. He's not going to be happy.
No, he's going to watch this and kick me in the mouth.
That'd be impressive. Have
you ever been kicked in the head?
No.
I saw Slipknot at Download when I was about 15 years old. It's the only time in my life I've been kicked in the head.
I presume you were on the floor.
I was not. I was stood upright. Kicked in the head upright.
Oh my God.
You should have seen this guy's legs.
I can't even imagine. Like, up.
Yeah.
Like just up. What did you do to him to deserve that?
It was just in the middle of I wasn't even in the mosh pit, but I was stood at the side. I was quite a short teenager.
Yeah.
So he probably didn't actually have to get that high up, but it was a sensation.
All you saw was just like a foot just flying.
Yeah, and I just sort of I think I was pretty dazed by it for a good half hour.
Oh my God.
Raging headache ensued.
That was your only mosh pit related injury, or
there's been a few, but it was just scrapes here and there, but kick to the head.
That's fucked up.
Anyway, right, sidetrack.
Sorry, sepia.
Yeah, so I started making sort of like wifey grime, R&B infused, R&G.
Sexy stuff.
Yeah, just real soulful. We had probably 140.
Yeah.
But that was a really good period of my life. I just really enjoyed making some of those tunes. Just, super soulful. Just emotive, really.
And that was sort of your introduction into Bristol, was that sort of scene?
Yeah, definitely. So it was. I'd lived here about a year, hung out with Theo loads. Then we were like, you're into some of the same tunes I am. Let's make some tunes. Just made a couple of these really nice R&B bangers, and we were like, yeah, this sticks.
What was the scene like for that at the time?
Again, just super niche. There was a couple of pockets of people doing it. You've got Lemsley Dale's label, Pearly Whites. Do you know Daffy? Makes
Yeah,
garage now.
uh-huh.
He ran a little label called Pear Drops. A couple of the grime people like Boxed were putting out some of that. It was mainly like grime, but they'd put out some of their bits. But like
Sure.
we made a couple of grime tunes to cater for a bigger audience.
Right.
But yeah, it was quite a small pocket of people, so I decided to just start my own label called Ripples, which again I haven't touched.
I was going to say, I don't think I've seen much from that.
What's it? I think I did one compilation that was did really well, then put out like 3 releases, and then was ready to put out the second compilation, and you know when people long you out a bit with certain aspects. I've been waiting on the artwork Poppy Crew for the past 3 years.
Oh my God, I don't think you got a right to even chase someone after that
exactly.
long.
But I always had this vision in my mind and this and the idea that I want to stick with the same artist for every release. People can imitate it, but I just wanted to keep that aesthetic
For sure. Yep.
on point. So yeah, Poppy, if you're watching this,
come back.
Give me my artwork.
See, man, people think running a label's easy, man.
It's long. It's really, really long. You gotta like pay out your arse for shit.
Yeah.
And it was, oh my God.
Basically, poor us, mate. Fucking poor. It's so hard out here.
Oh God, the worst time. But no, it's fun. I really like the simplicity of just enjoying other music and curating something that I enjoy. Like people send me. Used to send me like folders of like 30 tunes, and I'd be like, oh Christ. But then I'd go through them and be like, shit, some of these are so good. Which one do I even choose? So I really like that aspect of it. But yeah, like I say, I think I just find running a label a little bit too long.
Yeah. Who was on some of your initial compilations and releases?
So the first one was had like Real Tears. Ourselves, we were called XOX, me and Theo. Flint is a guy from Sheffield that was making really, really nice RNG. Do you know he goes by Dress Code now?
I know that name.
Dress Code. He used to make tunes as Grace. Oh, I forgot to mention Ital Dread were another big label doing that. But yeah, again, I think the scene just sort of fizzled out a bit.
Yeah, it's not really around anymore. That's sort of stuff.
It. There's a couple of like Pearly Whites are still occasionally putting tunes out, and there's DJ Pop Shove's label, Almost Nice Tapes.
Yes.
So they're still, there's pockets of it, but yeah, I think the last thing we did with that was making some tunes for Joe James, who's like a really, really good vocalist, but he's too famous for us now.
And when would that have been?
So we made those tunes for him about 2 years ago. Maybe a little bit longer, but it was one of those things where we were quite proud of our music. It sounds really big-headed, but like we just had this message in our DMs from like a rapper. We get quite a lot of messages from rappers,
sure,
and MCs that are like, "Oh, do you mind if I vocal this tune?" And we'd always be like, "No."
Absolutely not.
No chance. Like go on their SoundCloud and they'd be like, "Oh, this sounds mean."
That must have been quite a big thing at that time, especially in those sort of scenes. I've never really had experience with that, because I guess the music that I'm making that I'm releasing through the label isn't necessarily like MC led. Yeah. Is that something? Does that happen? Would you say that's like a shared experience for most labels that are operating in these more like 140 scenes? Because it's more of an MC focus, right?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I imagine they get a lot of it, but I like I say, I mean, like even the 140 scene seems to have like moved on a bit. Like there's none of the big heads really doing it anymore, and they've all moved on to, I don't know, like more techie stuff. Like what is it? Bloody Time Dance. I mean, they were never really 140 focused, but they always had that influence.
Sure.
Time Dance, and what's the other one? Is it Pev that runs Time Dance? Houndstooth. And then there's the other one, the other big Bristol one.
Sucker Punch? No, Punch Drunk, something like that.
Oh, that is
is
one. I don't know if they even operate anymore.
Isn't that a Pev one?
I think it might be.
My knowledge is fucked.
Yeah, an insightful podcast today.
As always.
Absolutely. But I really enjoyed the XOX stuff. Still, me and Theo were best friends, and
nice.
We always say let's make some tunes next week. Day comes, never done it. I think we say that once a month, and the last time we made tunes was probably about 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
It always gets to it, and we're like, oh, let's just play a little bit of Switch, and then we'll get round to it after.
Yeah, I promise.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, let's get a couple of beers, and it's like, oh, I can't really be arsed to make tunes.
Now it's 11 p.m.
Yeah. Isn't it? Do you want to fire up the speakers? Nah, same.
I'm finding it really difficult to piece together any sort of timeline of your your musical timeline, I guess. But I think that's the reason for that is because you've been juggling sort of multiple things.
Absolutely, there's a lot of overlap. Yeah. So I'd say, Wolf continued for a lot of the same time that I was doing Ripples and XOX with, and then I sort of had to stop that focus. When DJ Lord of the Rings came about.
Yes. Yeah. That was for me, when I picture your timeline in my head, that's a very pivotal, very important moment for you, because I had friends when I was at uni, sort of even before I was in the music thing, that were like, oh my God, have you heard this fucking DJ Lord of the Rings? He's fucking mental.
Some of the reach on the Lord of the Rings stuff still absolutely baffles me. We just get occasionally we'll just get uploaded by some Lord of the Rings meme page. And last week, and it got 2 million plays, and it's just who cares about this shit? No, I'm joking.
No, 100%.
It's just something that's baffled me, because it started out as such a a passion project that we really did not think anyone would even listen to. Just me and my homie Jake just sat there watching Lord of the Rings once a week because we love it so much. That then turned into something that I think it was the turning point was the first Bolter we played. And just a lot of people who hadn't heard our stuff heard it over the hills is what people describe it. They're so many people come up to me and they're like, I was just waking up, because the first gig we played was at either 11 in the morning or midday.
My God.
And we were like, oh, there's gonna be no one there. But then people were just flooding in, and it was probably
legend has it.
Yeah, the biggest crowds, the biggest crowds I've ever played to have been Lord of the Rings gigs.
Oh my God. How do you get an idea like that off the ground? How did you even get that Bolter booking?
So it was through the Off Me Nut guys.
Right.
Michael, SpongeBob SquareWave. Just took a liking to our music and was just that's such a silly but great idea. And it was really, really him that sort of pushed us off the ground. I remember Michael saying that, so there's two people that run Off Me Nut, Mikey Dankel and Michael SpongeBob SquareWave. And Michael was telling me that he'd left the entire Bolter lineup to Mikey to curate, except for one artist, which was us. So the big shout out to him for really getting that off the ground.
Unreal.
And then obviously put us on at a load of parties in Sheffield. Planet Fun were actually the first people to book us.
Right.
And that was one of those where we probably had about 15 to 20 minutes worth of content. And they put us on. Do you remember Jack of Diamonds?
Yeah, on Market
what
Street.
Happened to that?
I mean, I never went, but I heard it was an absolute shithole.
It was a shithole. My God. But the first gig...
You played there?
Yeah. So it was a Planet Fun there.
God, that must have been a while ago.
Ages, 4, 5? 5 years ago, probably. And they put us on there. And we were just it was the first gig, and we were just oh God, I don't know if anyone's going to be there. The moment our set was came around, it was we were in the upstairs room. The entire room filled up so much that there was a queue going up the stairs to the room, and the bouncers had to do one in, one out to that room.
Oh my God.
And then people downstairs said they could see the ceiling bending in.
Because it is the Jack of Diamonds, so it's not a huge surprise.
I'll try and find that. I know, yeah. It'd probably bend if I walked over it. But I'll try and find that footage as well, because that was like the start of it. We can go,
bam!
There it is.
And for the uninitiated, just describe DJ Lord of the Rings.
So it
briefly.
is pretty much what it says on the tin, really. Just hard dance and dance music inspired remixes. Wait, Lord of the Rings inspired. Wait.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings inspired hard dance.
Yeah.
But by inspired, I mean completely.
Like
it is. There's no inspiration. It is remixes of Lord of the Rings.
And
tracks.
MC Gandalf.
MC Gandalf is his own entity. Yeah, I remember. I say that now because occasionally it'd just be all encompassing. DJ Lord of the Rings, me, Jake, and Caspian as Gandalf.
Okay.
But someone came up to me, gurned off their face at Bangface about 4 years ago and was like, just so you know, MC Gandalf is his own entity. And I was like, yeah. No, I'd fuck with that.
You make it sound like he was like a sort of goblin creature.
The amount of people we meet that are so beautiful and amazing. Like there was this one guy at Bolter just with like an enormous amount of cat just dripping like down his face, like down his chin onto his chin. Like it was mental. This guy's eyes were like, I'd never seen anything like it, but he just came up to us. We were just sat down having a beer, came up to us and was like, do you mind if I do a Gollum impression? And we were like, yeah, man, go for it. Proceeds to literally mount Jake, like pushes him to the ground, is like staring into his eyes, like spitting. And
no!
But my God, this impression was immaculate.
Oh my God.
I don't know how he was functional, but whoo! And like, we meet people like not always as sort of out the brain.
Your beautiful fans.
Yeah. No, our fans are one in a million. Like, so lovely. And just, I've met some of the nicest people I've ever met through this that are just like as passionate about Lord of the Rings and just always have nothing but nice things to say, which is like truly beautiful. It's the only time I've ever really experienced that with any kind of music. I guess it's like quite a wholesome fan base.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, as Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Like just as Lord of the Rings. But like obviously if people get to hear it in a club setting or a festival setting, like bonus.
It's made for a festival, isn't it? It's
absolutely. Just like sun either going down or just sun like blaring.
All coming up,
all coming up. I always find like the best sets are festivals, like, and like we've played some wicked clubs. Like for some reason, the people in the Netherlands love our shit.
Really?
Yeah, we've played.
You played Lord of the Rings out there.
We've played abroad twice, both in the Netherlands. We've got our third Netherlands gig coming up next month.
Oh my God!
So yeah, we're on a bit of a hiatus at the minute.
I was gonna say, I thought you'd stopped doing it for a little bit, hadn't you?
We have. I think it came a point where I think it was Bangface was really the turning point for me. Like I think we'd done something crazy, like 5 gigs in a month, and obviously like there's not a great deal of differentiation between each set.
Sure.
And I think Bangface being that last gig of the month, and like we played the set and my heart just really wasn't in it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, I think we need to take a pause, work on some new shit and just work out what we can do to give back a bit more. Because like where people say that they're enjoying it, like they're only enjoying it as much as we are, really.
Yeah, that's so true.
If we aren't enjoying it, then like that's not fair on anyone else. But we decided, we were like, we've been working on quite a lot of new material and we're always in contact and we're just like, yeah, miss doing it loads.
Okay.
And then the opportunity came to play in the Netherlands. And like we always said, we were like, we won't do another UK gig. But like, I guess it's not as oversaturated over there.
There's
like,
certainly less Lord of the Rings hard dance in the Netherlands.
Exactly. So like, whereas we've played an ungodly amount of times in the UK at this point, like getting the opportunity, we always get comments being like, oh, please play in France, please play in Germany. It's like, yeah, if you want to book us, all gravy. But
where's the money?
Yeah, show me the flights and I'm there. But yeah, we thought we'd take this gig, then come back. Sorry, not come back, just work on our new stuff.
So it will make a return then at some point. Lord of the Rings is going to make a comeback.
In fact, we mean to.
Come on.
Which will be, it's just, it's quite funny. We've got this document of probably like 30 tunes that we need to make before we come back.
That's a fucking lot of tunes.
Well, so one of our last production sessions, like one of the first ones we did after like announcing the hiatus.
Yeah.
Was just sitting there listening to all 3 soundtracks back to back and working out which tunes would sound amazing in what genre.
Right, yeah.
So that took about 6 hours.
Yeah. Big old soundtracks on those movies.
Oh my God.
It's like watching the whole movie again.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that was quite a fun session. And then we made this this wicked, I'm really enjoying it. This bassline remix of, do you know this the scene where they're in Farmer Maggot's crop?
You are really pushing me now. I'm being completely honest
not
with you.
big on it.
Not massive. I'm being completely honest.
There's a scene where they're in Farmer Maggot's crop.
Yeah.
And it's where Frodo and Sam have just left the Shire.
Right.
And
yeah,
they run
yeah.
into Merry and Pippin, and they're like holding all these vegetables.
Okay. Yeah.
And you just hear him like, "Oh, come here, you!" And then they start running. There's this really whimsical little fluty number.
Right. Okay.
And we were like, "Oh."
That's it.
That sounds hard. Yeah. Let's crack on with that.
Oh my God.
So we made a little bassline edit of that, and then we've got a few more that we've made, but the list of 30 might not be achieved.
It must it's a big undertaking because, I imagine there's not that much of a breadth of Lord of the Rings themed dance music already out there for you to choose from. So you have to
Absolutely.
make a lot of your own stuff.
Most of the tracks, I'd say 90% are our productions, which is nice. But yeah, it's handy. We found when we first started out, we found a couple. Oh my God, there is some terrible content out there. There is some absolutely horrific stuff.
Such as?
I'm not getting into
Yeah,
it.
no, that's completely fair.
In fact, to be fair, just YouTube remixes. If you search Lord of the Rings remix, you will find some proper stinkers. But one of the best moments we found actually was this guy called Sizzlol.
Right, that says it all, I think.
Sizzlol, who had this this tune that we just found on SoundCloud that was it had 80 plays, and we were like, oh, let's just do a little flip of that. So we remixed it. This guy Sizzlol from I can't remember, somewhere in Eastern Europe.
Right.
Thinking it uploaded 10 years ago. We were like, oh, let's just do it. But we credited it. We call it Sizzlol the Potato Donk remix.
Right.
And then about a year and a half goes by, and we get this message on Facebook, and it's Sizzlol. Sizzlol's like, oh my God, I just heard the remix. Love this tune. I made that for a uni project.
Oh my God.
We were just like, how is this guy found us? I just assumed that he wouldn't even know, what was going on at all. But
Fucking Sizzlol, mate. What a
Sizzlol,
guy.
shout out Sizzlol.
Yeah, I know he's listening.
He's told me. We're not still in contact.
Don't know where he is actually. He
No,
could be
somewhere.
Yeah, I hope he's safe. Yeah.
He will be. Well, I can't tell you with confidence, but let's hope he is.
Okay, so right now, what's your main focus musically? I didn't mean not like that.
My main focus is sort of
Ooh, my chair just fucking went down.
Hey, at least we're at a similar height now.
Yeah,
You get back up.
how high
there.
can I go?
You need to get on level with this guy.
Yeah, come on.
This can be the tester.
Yeah, nice. You be on that level,
Yeah. Low riding.
Yeah, come on.
Current focus at the minute is just helping out with N4TS. Got a couple of DJ Wii Sports releases coming. Got a really good release that we just haven't. You know those ones where you do something that you're really into, but then it just gets a back shelf for a while. Other things just obviously take precedent. But just a couple of tunes. I've been making a lot of tunes with Portway.
Yeah.
As DJ Wii Sports and Portway.
Yeah.
We've got a couple out there at the minute released on an American label called Chow Garden.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Which really cool little label run by Manipool. And, I can't remember the other chap.
Oh, he's not gonna like that.
Oh, he's not.
Your track's getting cut, bro.
Shit, let's bleep that out.
I'll text to speech it over the top. Don't worry, it'll be all good.
There we go. Always loved Chow Garden stuff. Obviously, as a massive Sonic fan, it was like, this is kind of where we want to put some of our tunes. But yeah, we've made a couple of beats. We've got a tune coming out on Planet Fun, actually.
Oh, really?
They've got this really... In fact, you've got a similar little system. So Planet Fun have got this thing. They've got a business card. It's like a credit card.
Yeah.
Called the and it's you're part of the Boeing Society.
Oh my god.
And it's got a QR code on the back which gives you exclusive downloads and stuff.
Hard. So that's fucking sick.
So we've got a release coming with them. I think it's on back to back. There's a 2-tracker.
That's so
ours
smart.
Is like it's like a Boeing infused
Come on.
Charlie XCX. We called it IDM, intelligent donk music. Forgive me, everyone watching.
Portway loves the boings and like the fart noises.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he makes some interesting music.
You and him are quite the duo as well. Your shows on Workshop are hilarious. That was the one where you opened the
Pokemon cards. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I everything that I do with Oscar, I really enjoy.
Where did you first run into him?
I think the first time I met Oscar, I was at someone's house of someone that I was seeing multiple years ago, and Oscar came to the same house. I've never met anyone that was as pissed in my entire life.
Oh my god!
And I remember just at the time being like, I was really hungover in the nicest way possible, thinking, "Who the hell is this guy?" Like waving chairs over his head.
Oh my god!
He used to be quite the menace, that boy.
He's not the calmest guy in the world.
No. When he lets loose, that guy goes to town. But no, really enjoying doing the workshop show at the minute.
Yeah.
Got a show tonight, actually.
Yeah, you do. In
Last week, according to this.
last week.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. I thought you meant this is your last week.
No.
Okay,
We've
cool.
got multiple plans.
No, yeah, your show last week went really well, didn't it?
Yeah, last week. I think it went really well.
Have you got anything special lined up for this month's show?
On this month's show, it's not my favourite idea of ones we've got. It'll be a fun show.
Oh fuck! Okay.
It's going to be a fun show, but we're doing like a cheesy dance special.
Right. Okay.
So all those classic noughties bangers.
Like what?
You
Saturday
got to
night.
show me love.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Oh God, you got my voice singing.
That was getting
You like that?
clipped big time.
Yeah.
So.
You got to show me.
There it is. Isolated as well. There.
Yeah, we've got Saturday night in there. Scatman.
Oh, ba.
Yeah, you know.
Come on.
Yeah, what are you doing? You come through.
I might do actually.
Yeah,
I
it's
might
gonna be
do.
good.
Yeah.
Gonna play nothing but all of that. I've also got do you know where you just get really sidetracked? I've got the most intense ADHD. And Oscar was like, get Naughty's dance bangers. Obviously I'm like, sound, Better Off Alone, Castles in the Sky.
Yeah.
Ooh, I forgot about Wiley Heatwave. Like, that's going in. Obviously, that sent me on a tangent. So I've got like 90% shit like that. Swedish House Mafia.
Yes.
Back on my ADHD. I was meant to go to Oscars after work one night, and I was walking home. It's like a 5-minute walk from where I was working, and I got to Oscar's door. Was about to knock on, but opened my phone. That was it. I opened my phone to ring Oscar, opened Pokemon Go just because I got sidetracked, and just walked home. An hour later, Oscar rings me where are you? And I was just like, oh my God, I was meant to go to Oscars. just literally opened Pokemon Go and was like, oh, Pokemon down the road. Walked off, and then because it's on the way home, I think my brain was just like,
home now.
Let's go home now.
Oh my God. Do you still play Pokemon Go?
Yeah. I had a hiatus. I played it intensely from when it came out for about 2 years, and then stopped playing it until about 2 years ago. But just coming back to it, obviously I'm the biggest Pokemon fan.
Yeah. Can you battle on it now and stuff? Because when I used to play it years ago, you couldn't
do shit back in the day. But now me and my girlfriend play it all the time.
Oh my God,
you can
maybe I need to get it
party
back.
up.
Maybe
battle with each other.
Fuck, I need to get. Oh, I wish you hadn't told me that, bro.
It's good, you know. Honestly, it's good. And like, I don't know why, I've just got an addiction to like leveling up at the minute. Nearly level 40, and it's going to be life changing when I get there.
My God, sir.
Yeah.
Fuck, I need to download that.
Yeah,
shit,
you
Jesus.
get on that hype. It's and obviously it's got all the new Pokemon, so they do like big releases.
I think my problem was I used to live in like a small town. And there was just fuck all there. Like you couldn't get any good Pokemon.
That was it. Like my mum lived in this tiny village, so whenever I'd go visit her, it'd be like there wouldn't even be a Pokestop in the entire place.
What's the Bristol scene saying for Pokemon?
Fantastic, yeah. I mean, I wish there were more people. I always watch like YouTube videos on these people in America that are going around town and there's like hundreds of other people playing, and it's like, where the fuck are you finding all these people? Yeah, just like people in the middle of nowhere. I say it's great. Bristol scene's dead. Bristol Pokemon Go scene, sort your shit out.
Come on.
Get more people on
That's
it.
getting clipped where you say Bristol scene's dead. That's getting clipped now as well.
Yeah. No reference
DJ
to
Wii
Pokemon.
Sports comes for the Bristol scene.
Everyone in Bristol, you're my enemy now.
So, looking forward then, you've been in Bristol for about 50 million years.
Oh, at least, maybe more.
Do you reckon you'll chill here for a bit longer?
I think, yeah. So my girlfriend's just moved here.
Nice.
And like just getting comfortable in a new city is obviously quite important.
Yeah.
I've always said I'm going to move to London.
Mm-hmm.
I've got quite a lot of close friends in London that I miss very dearly. So I think, at some point the pilgrimage to London will happen. But there's been talks of moving back up to Sheffield.
Oh, back to the motherland.
Back to the motherland. It's just so cheap up there, and just
I've heard.
it's
I've
insane.
heard.
Like my mate is paying something like 300 pounds for an entire house. Like free bedroom. And what are we paying down here? What are you paying here?
I'm not about to expose that on the podcast.
Is it nice and cheap?
No, it's not at all. It's
There
fucking
we
horrible.
Yeah, I've got a cushy little deal. I'm paying $380 for one room, and that's amazing.
I'm paying more than double that for a room.
There we go. Like, I was about to say, I've heard some crazy stuff, and like, landlords are taking the piss at the minute.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the fancy hipster part of town.
It is, yeah. I quite like it down here.
Whoa, don't dox me, bro.
Oh, shit. Beat that out.
We're going to have fucking people running all down the streets holding my phone.
Filton is really nice, I believe.
Yeah, thank you.
Get yourself up to 198 Filton Road.
That poor bastard that lives there
whoever
now.
lives there.
Oh, fuck.
Lots of beeping going on here.
Yeah, of course.
Mainly to stop your racist chants.
Listen, you know what I said at the start? That everything that you say falls on you in this episode, not me.
Right, yeah. I'm just glad I only had the one drink today.
Yes. Bristol's good, and it's always a question about whether
I love it.
to move to London or to do what, because like that is where the industry is or whatever.
Absolutely, but I feel like it could just be one of those. Grass is always going to be greener.
Yeah.
Like I'm very comfortable in Bristol, and like I say, the music scene's thriving here. All the people that I do. Well, actually, there's quite a few people in London that I love to work with as well, and Sheffield. But like my closest music connections are in Bristol, and it'd be rubbish to affect that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I think there's something to be said about like the grassroots sort of scene here. So, like sometimes I can sit and think, when I get all like old man vibes, I can sit here and think, like. There's like a lack of this. There's like a lack of that. Yeah. But like, I feel like if we were to move somewhere else, it might make you realise kind of how good we really have it here sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just like we were saying, I know there's a lot of nights and like shit that just makes you just think that everything's the same.
Yeah.
But having the option to like go to these nights is always like a benefit, like in my opinion. Because like back in Sheffield, that was one of the main reasons that I came down here. Is just Sheffield's great, and it's got some like really good grassroots venues and like really good nights up there. But they're quite thin and few. Obviously, the scene's changed a lot since I'm there, so I can't generalise for the entire city.
Yeah.
It's probably got loads more and loads of different popping things there. But for me, it was like. You've got your options. You can go out on Friday and a Saturday. occasionally a Thursday.
Yeah.
Like once in a blue moon.
Uh-huh.
Whereas here it's like, I want to go out
Tuesday.
I want to go out on Tuesday, yeah. Sunday sounds like a banging night.
Yeah, mate. It's huge.
So, you want to do that like afters, not slept from the night before on Saturday. What can we do? Reggae Sundays.
I'm too old for that shit already, bro.
I couldn't do that anymore. But having that option back in day was fruitful.
Are you old enough to have been to Niche when it was open, or you missed that?
No, that was way before my time. They did reopen it that I went to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they reopened it and sort of like, didn't have a rebranding, but
okay.
Yeah, they reopened it on the wicker arches, and it was just, I think it lasted for about a year.
Really?
It was just like, I think like one of the reasons it shut down was like drugs, violence.
Yeah.
And I think, the exact same shit went down there.
Right.
And unfortunately, like with
maybe this time, guys.
Yeah, with this time everyone will be really friendly to each other. No. I think unfortunately, like having with bassline, obviously it like runs in my blood. I love bassline. It's where I like started DJing was at these shady ass bassline events there at this place called, oh God, what was it called now? I think it was called Code.
Right.
I was like 17, 18 and some of the shit I saw there was horrific.
Really?
People just like getting their heads kicked in.
Oh my God.
I saw one guy, I'd just done my set. I'd always do the open, 60 quid in pocket.
Not bad for an open.
It's all right. Yeah. It'd be like 10 to 11 and I'd sod off to a different night and it'd be banging. Like 60 quid in hand.
Yeah.
But the times that I did stick around, some like, oh my God, every single night it'd be like, I'd occasionally go on the door as well. I was seeing people covered in blood.
God.
I remember one of the worst ones, someone just got a glass, like a little tumbler and just boshed it in this guy's face. Just came out, just glass in his face. It was horrible. Sorry, I don't know how PG this is.
All because of bassline.
Bassline just attracts a pretty violent crowd. I know like all the stuff like Lengoland and that crap bassline probably had a bit more of a sneaky crowd, but like die-hard bassline fans can be quite ruthless.
Which is funny because I think down more south ways when it's played, I think it's treated with a lot more of a sort of like off me nut.
I think Off Me Nut did wonders for that genre as a whole. They pretty much created their own genre, really.
Right.
Like, an Off Me Nut tune like that, and then you can differentiate it from Heartbroken. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But I think they did so much for that scene, just creating a much safer space. And like even talking to some of them now, they're like skeptical to work with like some other members because they still like to put on like bassline acts because that's some of their like main influence.
Yeah.
But I know they're definitely skeptical to work with certain MCs and DJs just because of reputation and just people getting a bit too much of an ego on their head.
Such an interesting culture because like for me I see the music as like to its core like quite like fun and like like the whole thing of not taking itself too seriously and that sort of thing, but to some people it's like fucking
I think because like Sheffield birthed the genre, people take it incredibly seriously and like it's the same as sort of say like more northern cities. Like I think a lot of people would say donk's like a very silly genre, but like for me, I don't see it that way just because like that's people's culture out there as well. At the end of the day, places in like Wigan, like even as far north as Newcastle, people like take that shit very seriously. And at the end of the day, like. If you're joking around, I try not to, just because he might be offending someone at the end of the day.
Us Southerners are just fucking culture vultures, aren't we? Every day, I think that's what it is.
Well, I mean, you get some fantastic stuff.
We can't do any good art ourselves, mate. We just fucking steal it from
the
others.
north.
Exactly.
You come up and pillage our towns.
Exactly. Exactly, mate.
The Vikings.
Right, mate. I think that's about time. We
We're
need to
done.
get off the radio. I do so believe.
Crumbing Nora.
It's nearly 7. Oh,
Nearly
we
said, what time did we start?
We are at 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Oh shit, let's finish.
All right, sir. Anything else you wanted to say to the beautiful, adoring fans of Chat and Breeze?
Shout out the fans, yeah?
Yeah, I big up the fans. You
Big
get
up
me?
the fans.
Come on, half a bottle of
How,
WKD,
how
mate.
upset would you be if I spoke like that?
Mate, speak away. Speak whatever you want.
Right, I'm going off tangent.
No, go for it, mate.
No, thank you for thinking I'm interesting enough to listen to.
That's all right, mate.
Yeah, hopefully there's been something of use here.
When we cut it down, the whole episode's probably going to be about 6.5 minutes long.
Yeah,
so.
literally everything else is just going to be waffled bollocks, and then there'll be like 6 minutes of like interesting factoids.
And the audience will probably be all the more happy for it.
Exactly. We should have chatted about Pokemon more. I could chat 6-hour special
I reckon
podcast.
we probably chatted for about 15 minutes straight about Pokemon.
Yeah,
so.
and we should have chatted more.
You're so right. Well, next time you come on, we'll have a full Pokemon
full
chat.
Pokemon unopening as well.
Yeah. Oh my fucking god!
Woo.
Absolute class idea.
Innit?
Fucking hell. All right, DJ Wii Sports. Thank you so
for
much.
having me, love.
Cheers, sir. Ooh,
Let's get to radio.
Smash that.
Imagine.
Well, bleeding it. That was a corker, wasn't it? I did promise you a good episode, and by Jove, I believe we delivered. By Jove. Okay. Yeah, cheers for listening. So that's one. If you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed recording it. Not much to say on the back of this one, other than that we've got a release coming out in a couple of weeks. Tunes have not been released to the general public yet. However, those on the Patreon, those who are members of the Belters Club, already have access to them and have probably been playing them out like crazy. To join the Belters Club, that's patreon.com/belters. You get instant access to all our back catalogue, which for only £5 a month I think is a pretty fucking good deal. So go ahead and do that right now. And yeah, nothing else really. Big up for listening, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.